I'm going to assume you're here for the Killswitch record, this consequence. We are 45 minutes of noise. I'm the host, Chris, and I'm here with my very good friend, Samuel Lewis. We're not going to keep you waiting around. We're going to get straight into this. Killswitch Engage, this consequence. It's out on February 21st via Metal Blade Records. It's the metalcore aficionado's ninth album and the follow up to 2019's Atonement. Okay. Sam, I suppose at this point in Killswitch's career, I'm waiting around to see if they've got one last great album in them. Are you also doing the same thing?
Yes. Is the
Because I
white album,
feel,
Chris?
I feel like everything they've done since Disarm the Descent has been a good album with one great
Hmm.
song on it, as opposed to a great
Yes.
record, as opposed
Yes.
to a great record in its own right,
Which was the
such
which
as
was the
Disarm the
record with
Descent.
Quiet Distress on?
Incarnate.
Yeah, that was a decent album, of which that was by far the best song.
And then Atonement was a decent album with Signal Fire on, which is a banger.
Is that the one with Howard Jones singing alongside?
Yes.
Yeah, that is a banger. Yeah.
Now, you've had to kind of pull some Pavlovian conditioning on me over the past few years because
Just describing our friendship, are we? Or
I do suffer with recency bias massively. I'm a bit like,
yes.
like when like with a dog, like someone will be like, "Do you want to go for a walk?" And the dog's running around the room. I'm like, "Bro, I haven't got the lead. Relax. I've got to get your collar on first." Um, like
I'm getting the
I
newspaper ready to bonk you on the nose for what you're about to say over the next 20 seconds
no
already.
no no. So your Pavlovian conditioning has worked on me because I've stopped now.
Oh,
So
good.
what I would say is, just as we get into this record. I think this is comfortably the best Killswitch record since Disarm the Descent. Sam.
Nice. Nice. Oh, I think it's the best Killswitch record I've heard for several Killswitch records.
Okay.
I don't know how hyperbolic I want to be,
Right,
because like
so do I need to
we've
Pavlovian
established that
condition you?
I've got to be the high. I've got to. I can't be the hyperbole police and then also say that I think it's their best record since Daylight Dies, which I low key do.
Well, the thing is, though, I think you need to re-listen to Disarm the Descent because Disarm the Descent was
Mm.
excellent. It was like a phenomenal return to form. So much so that it was like I can't believe that Jesse Leach sounds this good. Like he's
Was
like
it the
back in
first
20.
record
It was the first
with him?
record. It was the first record back with Jesse after Howard had left. And honestly, everyone listening to this, please listen to Disarm the Descent again because it's a ridiculously good album. So let's talk about this then. This consequence, Sam. I am going to say that the wait is over for me. For I've been waiting for this one last great Killswitch album, and I think it's happened, Sam. Do you think it's
Yeah,
happened?
yeah, I think it's happened too.
Mm, awesome.
Could I talk about the first time I thought it had happened, and we can
Yes,
compare notes.
yes, that'd be interesting.
Um, uh, the second solo on Abandon Us that went
What,
right
two
back
minutes
into the
into the
guitar.
album?
Hold on, I was immediately like, all right. I actually wrote it feels triumphant, like at the end, sort of
Mm.
like really in the really cool fade out. And then when I heard blast beats on Discordant
Oh yes.
Nation, I was like, oh, Killswitch Engage have done the thing that I wanted them to do for a while. I used to think that when like Jesse, they turned down the heaviness a little bit to suit his style of vocals, and they rely a
Mm.
little bit more on the what I'd call like stereotypical kill switch tropes, which is it's never too heavy, is it? You know, it's fast paced, but it's always major key. You know, it's always like melodic. It's got those really positive licks over the top, and it suits. And they never really delved that massively, I think, into his deeper sort of stuff. And
Mm.
this felt like they were really doing that, and it felt like there's a riff before the tempo change on Discordant Nature, and then heads back into these blast beats for the chorus. It's just class.
Yeah.
And then there was some sextuplets sort of breakdown section in Aftermath. Um, and I was like, this is a really good record. And then you hear the singles in the context of that,
Yeah.
and it lifts the singles up like
It
Forever
does.
Aligned and I Believe sound great on this record in the midst of all the other songs. Forever Aligned is one of the great Killswitch songs of the last sort of decade. I think it's
Yes, it
really
is.
good.
Yes, it is. Can I mention what do you think of the production on this album?
I think it's very good. I think there's elements of this I would like to polish.
So it's really interesting you mentioned that. So I
It's a bit
think,
muddy at times, do you
do
know?
you know what? This rustic production sound, because on Abandon Us, I checked my stream, I did. I was like, is there something
Did
off with my,
ya?
yeah, I was like, is there something off with my stream? And then I thought, oh, hang on. No, this is the way they produced the album, and it reminds me of the self-titled album in 2000, and I think it sounds incredible. I think it sounds, not to get us too excited here, but I think this the way this has been produced and it's really rough around the edges, this really raw production sound. This is like self-titled 2000 Killswitch sound. This is, and it works unbelievably well. Um,
No, I think generally speaking, them going back to a Spartan style of songwriting and injecting a little bit of teeth into their record has really, really worked. There's bits of this. The opening riff of When It Dies. When was the last time Killswitch Engage have written a proper heavy metal riff like that?
no, no, no,
You know what I
that's
mean?
been a
Like with the
while,
with the
yeah.
with the with the pinch harmonics. Remember we used to watch. Well, we did it over and over again at pre-drinks, didn't we? Watching Killswitch Engage records live and just
Oh
being
God, yeah,
buzzing because Adam D used to put a pinch harmonic like every four bars.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, that's so sick.
yeah.
Like, he's doing it in the tunes now, and it just feels like proper heavy metal stuff going on in the midst of the classic, upbeat thrashy kind of kill switch and the big nice choruses. Like, there's so many of these. Like the opening on The Fall of Us. This is as heavy as I've heard Killswitch Engage for ages on The Fall of Us.
Mm.
Blast beats with the heavy transition,
The breakdown
like
at the end.
breakdown with pinch
Oh,
harmonics before a dark acoustic breakdown. The ending of it is just utterly superb. The slow chugging, like this is now a Killswitch Engage record that you could put on for people that think Killswitch Engage are a little too soft for them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm
mm.
actually into death metal. I'm actually into expand. I'm actually, they're a little, a little poppy for me. Which is, a reasonable thing if you listen to like 2005 to 2015 kills, which is very pop led. But some of the stuff on this is just really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. It's got all the classic tropes of what makes a good kill switch record. It's got great riffs. It's got real heart. I mean, I think personally, they've actually sacrificed like 5 to 10% of the push towards the choruses because the choruses aren't as big, as brash, or as centered around at times. It feels like the choruses are just the things that break you into before. This is a very riff-led, guitar-orientated record,
Yeah.
more so than before. For a period of time, it felt like Adam D was taking a back seat and just sort of big chords, you know what I mean, and just whatever kind of like you expected from a lead guitarist in that capacity. But now it feels like there's a bit more of a technicality to what he was playing on this record in comparison to some of the previous ones. It's just a better metal record, I think. Um, where Killswitch, it's not just that sounds like Killswitch Engage next. Like it's like generally a good record. Like this sounds like Silosis at times,
Yeah.
like dark and nasty, and like a kind of like a twist to it. And because of that, I really love it. There's like a really serpentine quality to the songs, and I agree with you that it's rawer and at times a little muddier, not as clear. But it's what it's got as a result of that is a bit of darkness, a bit of bite, and I think the album benefits as a result. I'll agree with you on Disarmed Intent. It's a great record, and I do need to re-listen to it once again. That at least makes it one of the best Killswitch albums of the decade, doesn't it?
Oh, it's the
It's the
best
best
Killswitch
Killswitch
album in
album
the
of
decade.
12 years.
Oh, it's definitely the best Killswitch album in 12 years, 100%. Like I would, I've got no problem saying that. I'm just I'm aware that how much I suffer under recency bias, so I'm just going to hold myself back from saying it's the best
Yeah,
Killswitch
fair,
album
fair,
since
fair, 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 fair.
2007. What I would say, and I've got no problem saying this, this is a throwback to early 2000s Killswitch. Who
Yeah,
thought
agreed.
I'd be saying that in 2025?
Yeah, this is gonna sound great live, Chris.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned Discordant Nation, mate. The snapneck pace of
Hmm.
Discordant Nation, mate. That is Killswitch in 2001. That is, and Justin
Oh yeah.
Fowley's blast beats. He's like, and I'm like, bloody hell. Justin Fowley can be Austin Archer from Lorna Shore, can he? Like the speed that he goes at. I'm like, oh my God, Justin, I haven't heard you do this for years. And I wanted to speak just aftermath quickly because it reminded me of like Arms of Sorrow from Daylight Dies, like that kind of
Yeah,
slick,
I can see that.
emotive opening, like, and it's got this anthemic rock beat and heart running through it. There's an interesting blend between like spoken word vocals and screams from Jesse as the track reaches its climax, and the way they close this song. We speak about Adam D's guitar work, and he's like one of the guitar gods of our generation, undeniably.
Yeah,
And
100%,
his
100%.
backing vocals are underrated, man. He's
Yeah,
brilliant. His backing vocals are excellent, man.
absolutely.
And do you know what I really like about Adam D? If we're
Yeah, the
just
bit at the end
honest,
of, is it I Believe? The end of I Believe, and
I
he's really
believe,
sort of rotating.
and he does it on Requiem as well. Now,
Yeah, Requiem's a great song as well.
if I was as good at backing vocals as Adam D, I'm telling you now, they would be in every single song. I would be finding some way to shoehorn my backing vocals into every song. But the reason why Adam D is such a phenomenal producer, phenomenal songwriter, is because he saves it. He knows when they'll matter and when they'll really do something and lift a song upwards, and it works unbelievably well on Aftermath. It works unbelievably well on I Believe, and it works exceptionally well on Requiem, which is what closes out the album. You mentioned how Forever Aligned and I Believe are lifted because of the context of the album and where they sit. And I
Yeah.
completely agree. And what that then means is the first three songs are exceptional. People have already heard Forever Aligned and I Believe, so they know that they're exceptional as well. And then how's about this for you? Where It Dies and Collusion are also very good, which means that you get 8 great Killswitch Engage out songs in a row in 2025. It's good,
Yeah,
isn't it? That
it's extreme. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
that's
I'll
good.
take
That
that. Yeah, I completely agree. I would. The quality of this is really, really great. It's concise as well. 40 minutes in and out, great record. And really, really enjoyable. Like, I didn't expect this. This has
no, me
surpassed my
neither.
expectations.
I thought that the, hey, we proved ourselves wrong, which is good. If you remember, like we reviewed Atonement 6 years ago. Ugh, that's a long time ago. So we reviewed
Yeah.
Atonement, and we were like, "Ugh, it's just we're gonna say the same thing about the next Killswitch album, aren't we? How it's like, yeah, it's mostly good, and there's one great song on it. And I remember, God, I think I said to you that, oh, you think this is gonna be Killswitch's last album? I do. I think they're going to do like one last big tour where they get Howard Jones in to do some songs, and then kill, and then Adam's going to go away and do other
Yeah.
stuff. Because I was like, if I was looking at Atonement and Incarnate as a duo of like, right, if this is what Killswitch Engage have got left, I don't see why we need another record. If this is what it's going to be like, I don't see why they would kind of dedicate their time to that. And then you had how good the New Times of Grace record was. And do you remember me and you saying,
Yeah.
well, if this is
Why isn't
what
this a Killswitch record?
yeah, I was like, if this is what Adam can do outside the Kill Switch with Jesse, then why are they doing Kill Switch? I don't know why they're doing this. But Killswitch are one of my favorite bands of all time. They're one of the reasons how I got into metalcore and like heavy
Of
metal in
course.
general. So this has just been a phenomenal moment for me because this album is great. It's happened. There's a new great Killswitch Engage record, and it's just kind of for me, it's completely re-energized my adoration for the band because you get 8 Killswitch Engage bangers in a row on this
Yeah.
album, and that's what a sentence is. For me, like Broken Glass, um, I can take or leave. I can take or leave. It's got like a real primitive, heavy chug to the opening riffs, and a nice punching tonality, but it doesn't really go anywhere else for me. I wondered whether like they'd kind of run out of writing steam, but then Requiem, then they play Requiem at the end, and
Yeah,
it's got
Requiem's fantastic. That
unbelievable.
riff with the little cymbal work in the top right corner as well. It's just utterly
I
gorgeous.
was just about to mention the drum fill that Justin does to blend back into the verse. Unbelievable. Again, the backing vocals from Adam are beautiful, and the chorus is every single thing you could want from Killswitch, and it rights any potential wrongs that you might have felt from Broken Glass. Because for me, Broken Glass is kind of mid, and yeah, I'm not sure whether it needs to be there on the record or not. But if that is really the only fault I could find with this. This is a man. This album is great, and am going to say that it's definitely the best record that Killswitch have done since Disarm the Descent. And I picked up a hint, Sam, that you think it might be the best record that Killswitch have done since As Daylight Dies.
Yeah, I'm prepared to hear it as an argument. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Do you know what? I felt an inclination towards saying that, but I thought you might have a go at me. So I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna say it's
Well, we
definitely
ever
the
had a podcast where one of us doesn't say something ridiculously hyperbolic? You're like, I'm not going to say anything hyperbole, and I'm just like, that's cool because I'm jumping off the top rope with his ridiculous claim anyway.
it's definitely the best Killswitch record since Disarm the Descent, and I'm gonna wait a few weeks and then decide whether I think it's better than Disarm the Descent. Um, the last thing I want to ask you now is just, you know what, we need a bit of controversy in this chat. I think we've agreed with too much in this conversation, so I need to
All right,
kind of
okay.
do a Vince McMahon. I need to dial up the controversy for no apparent reason that no one asked for. Um, right, you know, like Adam's doing a album with Heather Jones,
Yeah.
right? Uh, what if it's what if it's like really good? What if it's better than this? What then? Because what then Adam D's just kind of like Stretch Armstrong being pulled in between Jesse Leach and Howard Jones. Like what happens then?
Adam D just writes 55 superb riffs a year, just like the atomic clock.
What
I
happens then?
don't, Kotor?
Adam's just hands turn into fire in the midst of the set. Like he's playing 66 riffs at once. Like,
Yeah, just 2 hours, just octopus style. If it's really good though, and what then kind of thing. Like, there's so much crossover. Like, it's inevitable that surely there'll be some kind of alignment, and then they could do like Signal Fire together and bring Howard out for like my curse and stuff. That'd be cool. It'd be like a Killswitch Engage off. On the announcement of like the 25th anniversary since their first record or something like that. If you get it to align with something anniversarial, that would be really really good. But if it's really good with Howard Jones, and I even do the assumption that Adam puts all his best ideas to Killswitch, but Times of Grace was so good, maybe not. He's just a machine. It could be very good again. It could be. I'm not ruling it out at all.
I just, I think that it's this record. The best, you know what? The best compliment I can pay this record is this is so good that if it was announced that Howard is and Adam D are cancelling the project, I'd be cool with it.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, because they're like, oh
I,
yeah, this is going really well. Let's tour this out.
yeah, I don't feel like it's needed now because like because since Disarm the Descent, Killswitch haven't done anything great. There's been an itch for me to have scratch where I'm like, oh, I need one more great Killswitch album. But now Jesse has. Oh, man, honestly, it's an unbelievable, it's a great record. This is Jesse's given us a record that I didn't expect to happen, and it's Killswitch like at their best. So what, man, the best compliment I could pay is that if the Herod thing got cancelled, I'd be cool with it. Whereas 2 years ago, I'd think, God, yeah, I need Herod on a Killswitch album now because Jesse was brilliant on Disarm the Descent, and they haven't done anything great since. But not to suggest that I lost any respect or love for Jesse. I adore Jesse Leach; he's incredible. Um, I was worried about where the future of Killswitch was really going in terms of a songwriting perspective.
It would be kind of worrying if they were clinging on to the nostalgia of remember when we had Howard
Yeah,
by like releasing this kind of like adjacent record alongside, wouldn't it?
but just to kind of put a bow on the review, this is man, this is so good. This album,
Yeah,
I'm so proud of
it
Adam. I'm
really
so
is.
proud of Jesse.
It
I'm so
really is.
happy as a fan because I wasn't sure this was ever going to happen again. I was listening to Abandon Us and I thought, oh bloody hell, this is a great start to a record. And they already know that I love Forever Aligned and I Believe, so they only need to do one more banger, and this is already the best thing they've done since 2013. And then they give you another four that you didn't see coming. Uh, this is awesome, man. Oh, man, I'm so happy as a Killswitch Engage fan. I'm so happy for every Killswitch fan. Like you, on the 21st of February, you've got a phenomenal 40 minutes heading your way. Um, this is great, man. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. It's as good as it's as good as I'd hoped for. It's much better than I expected. It's a proper return to greatness for Killswitch Engage, and the fact that we can even have a conversation where it's like, well, I think it's the best album for 12 years, and I'm saying, well, it could be a better chance it's the best album for 20. You're
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's reasonable. Like, what an argument to be able to have. Um, this is as good as you'd hope for a Killswitch Engage record. It ticks all the boxes, but also it comes with a level of aggression and teeth that I didn't anticipate at all. Um, and I agree with you. If you're a big Killswitch Engage fan, you like the early stuff. Um, this is as good as can be hoped. This is a tremendous record.
That is where we're going to leave off this episode of apparently 45 minutes of noise, although I'm willing to bet, Sam, it was more like an hour and 15 minutes of noise.
We are just heading to the 60-minute mark now. We're turning the
Ah,
corner into the hour.
not
Yeah,
bad
pretty
for us.
concise for us. Yeah,
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 considering that we started by talking for Black Sabbath for half an hour, I think we've actually rescued that quite well.
yeah. Then we complained about Silverstein for 9 minutes, and that brought us back to something that goes in relative conciseness. Even though the irony of me saying that sentence while talking about how concise we've been. Yeah.
Depending on records that we receive and when we receive them, we may be back next week for a review of the new Architects album, The Earth, Sky, and All Between. If not, then we will be back in 2 weeks' time to discuss new Spirit Box and new Whitechapel. So some big episodes incoming, regardless of timing. I want to thank you for listening to us. Again, the best way to support us is by subscribing, liking, or following, depending on the service that you use. We're going to be back at the very latest in 2 weeks' time. Hopefully, we'll be back in a week's time with Architects. Thank you very much for listening. Remember to follow us at Noizze Podcast on X. You can follow us the Noizze account on Instagram, Blue Sky, and noizze.co.uk for your reviews and interviews. We will see you at the very least 2 weeks, the very latest, sorry, 2 weeks' time. Keep it heavy. Thanks for listening. Bye.